Tim from Olsen Motorsports. Keith's behind the camera, as always. Hi, Keith. Say hi.
Hi.
And then Brian's over here building stuff. So we had on Instagram, we had our first question and answer last week, which was really cool. Thank you, everybody, for participating. And one of the questions was, how do I rebuild my JRZ damper? So we're going to do that really quick. And it's actually pretty simple. There's some specific tools that you need. So like this is the dust cap. This comes in here and removes the dust cap. And as we go through the process, we'll show you a couple of the different tools. But let's get started. So the first thing we do is we chalk up in a vise, and we use an aluminum thing here so we don't, you know, put the I don't even know how you call these things, the little detents in the vise, so it messes up the bottom. You bust this guy off. So this is just a little, if you can zoom in there, Keith, this is just a little dust cover that goes onto the guy, and then it's just got this little seal here. And all that does is it just wipes and keeps all of this debris from getting on the inside. So throw that in our tray. We kind of did a little pre-disassembly. We took the springs and the top hats and all that stuff off to kind of get started with. And then in order to push that down, we got to take our Schrader valve out here. We go down with our high speed, down with our low speed to full soft. And the same with the top. And that allows us to push this guy down and then push the guide down. And next up's the circlip. So just grab a little tool like this. Grab that circlip out. And most importantly, so we don't make a mess, which we happen to do quite frequently. And then the other tool is this is a JRZ tool as well. It's got a little part number on it. This one's really worn out. It's done a couple jobs. And this part right here, you just screw this into the divider piston on the bottom. Screw that guy in there, and then just give it a little push. And out comes the divider. We can put that in the tray because we don't need it anymore. Come over here, Keith, if you want to show that. So this fluid actually looks pretty good. This is in for an upgrade, so it doesn't have a whole lot of hours on it. This is the guide, so it's got Teflon inside. Here's your seal, your little O-ring seal right there. And then the bottom seal, which is just a standard, it's a high pressure Merkel seal. So this is your Merkel seal here. So this part always faces pressure and seals it, and then that's the top side. And we replace all of these seals. So we'll go through the whole damper and show you that. Oil, I'm gonna go ahead and dump this out. And then you need a 5 millimeter to take off the stud here. And this stuff always makes a mess. There's always oil dripping. So a little trick, because I love tricks, is you take a rubber tip blowgun like this, and then you rotate this guy down, and you just spray the other side. Like that. That'll be a cool shot for you, Keith. And that just blows all the residual oil out of this line, so it just doesn't make a mess. We just take a little brake clean and get most of the residual oil out of that. You see this thing's kind of dirty. And we have a high pressure washer that will show you. And another tool is the body clamp, the 51.5 millimeter inside diameter clamp that you get from JRZ. Fits in a standard vise. And that allows us to squeeze this thing down. A little bit of pressure, but it won't distort the canister because of the way it's machined down. So this is low speed, the LS. This is high speed. We've got to take these knobs off. There's a little set screw. I don't know if you can zoom in there, Keith, and get that, but there's a little set screw here. Just show the Allen in there, pop that guy. This is a newer style, so they're spring loaded from the bottom. They'll have a little ball here, and then deep down inside there will be, there's gonna be a spring, which I always forget to take out, and then of course I lose it. So this is what sets the click. On the bottom, you can see here's the detent. So this is what gives your click. This spring sits down inside that hole, and then the little ball sits on top of the spring, and that is what gives you your detents for your click. And these are indexed, so you'll see when we take it apart. Another set screw over here. Pull that guy up. It's cool because a lot of this stuff will come, guys will see on our tech blog, we always talk about all these different designs. So if you go to our tech blog, which you can find on our website, you'll be able to see a lot of these different features. We always talk about the pistons and the valving, and just give this a little tap. Not a lot of torque on these because it's aluminum to aluminum, and this is really thin, so you don't need a lot of torque. Pull this guy up, this unthreads. Get a close-up of that key. So this is the high-speed valve, and then that's the low-speed valve. We'll take this apart. And then this is the divider piston here. The divider piston underneath is nitrogen, on top is oil. So empty this guy out. Same thing, stick your little rubber tip blowgun, give it a little pressure there. It'll pop that guy right out. 2 seals inside here. So this is a Teflon right here. Teflon that keeps it centered. And then there's a X-ring here that keeps it sealed against the pressure. We'll replace all that stuff. And then inside this valve, we'll take this guy off. It's 2 4mm. Here. With the longest bolt in history holding it together. Looks like its own video by itself, isn't it, Keith? So then you just take this and thread, it's a right-hand thread, thread that guy down. This is your high speed. So it's got your Belleville washers here, 2 sets of preloaded Belleville washers there. And then come over here, Keith, and we'll take this apart. You'll be doing a lot more of these videos too, guys. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel to see. So this is low speed. So it's just increasing holes. So there's your smallest hole, there will be the less flow, which is full stiff. And then your biggest hole down here, which will be full soft on low speed. And the high speed circuit has this little tiny shim, which is really difficult to get off there. And then that's really as simple as this. There's an O-ring here we take off. And that's pretty much it. That's how you take them apart. And we're gonna wipe our hands off and we'll go over to the pressure washers and get them all cleaned off. So now we take our, over to the pressure washer, we take our stuff, and we usually just put, this is 250 PSI of heated water with some solution, and we'll just take it in here. We throw the dirtiest pieces in here and then blast them. That gets all the threads super clean. All right, that should be good enough. Basically what we do is we just take and we blast all the threads off. You know, a lot of the times this adjuster here will get seized up, and that's just because you have little small rocks or some trash or debris in it. We also do the top hats. Anytime you can get, you know, a lot of times this thing right here won't turn really well because there's gravel or salt or corrosion or something in there. So we blast those guys. And then we do our valve head as well. Throw that back on there, and then we come to our ultrasonic cleaner. So we use a chemical that does good with anodizing and aluminum. It doesn't hit. And we just throw everything in here. Throw everything in here. So this tank's 160 degrees. And we throw it in here for 15 minutes. And the end result is perfectly clean, ready to assemble shock absorbers. So we pretty much throw every single component in here, and it won't harm anodizing. This piece is really dirty. It'll come out pretty much sparkling clean and ready to assemble. Throw this guy in here. You see it's 159 degrees. Set the timer. See you in 15 minutes. John! 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 Hey, trying to shoot a video over here. Kind of zoom in there, Keith. It's really hot. But you can see everything's nice and shiny. Looks good. So just grab our air. We blow all this stuff off. I know it's loud, but we get in the valve. Stack it up on the trays. You can see how clean everything is. This guy has decided to entangle himself in here. So the reason we actually thought of doing this video is when we were doing our question and answer, somebody actually asked it. So anytime anybody has the opportunity to think of a question, put it in the comments, and we'll use those for future YouTube videos, or Instagram Live, or Facebook Live. So we really appreciate everybody's feedback. So we'll call that clean. Don't worry guys, we know where all these little parts go. The final step is we just take a little bit of stainless steel polish some of these parts down. It gives it a nice finished look on the anodizing. You see that? That looks really, really nice. So the guys will be happy. A lot of times, they come in covered with grease, and with the equipment we have, we're able to clean them pretty quickly, and the final result's spectacular. What do you think, Keith? Makes you want to take them out of your car and clean them, huh? So that's it. They are cleaned, and then we're going to hand it over to Brian, and he will show you how we assemble them, dyno them through the whole process. And thank you very much. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and keep all that stuff coming, guys, and we'll make as many videos as time allows.